Welcome back. As I told you all, while we were finishing up the material for exam 1, at that point I did mention that as we move further in the course, we would learn to name compounds that contain 2 or more functional groups per molecule. Okay, and for exam 1, we learned just basic one functional group nomenclature. So we're going to go further up in the course. So here I have a chart. Now, it's not physically possible for me to convince you that how the chart works. The only way you can understand the chart better is through practice. Of course, I'm going to walk you through the rationale behind the chart with some examples, so it makes more sense. Okay? Whenever you have 2 or more functional group, one group's always going to be higher in priority versus the other group. So what I have done here is I've developed a chart. I didn't develop it, I just recreated it. Someone else has developed this idea several years ago. Okay, so you have 3 columns. One is for the function group. The other column is called prefix, another column is suffix. Okay, so the group at the bottom of the column for under function group is the lowest priority group, and as you work your way up, your carboxylic acid, which you know from exam 1 material, due to space constraint, I left it empty and I figured I'll come back and write it as I'm beginning to record the video. Okay, so your carboxylic acid is the highest priority functional group and your nitro is the lowest priority functional group. Okay, if you don't know which group is high priority over other group, then it's basically becoming impossible to name these compounds. All right, so we'll come back and use the chart in the next video, but I just want to take the time to actually review, okay, a few of the compounds we had learned for exam 1, because I could say, hey, go back and look at this link to this YouTube video I've created, but instead if I actually include it as part of the series, it just makes more sense because you get the immediate review and then get to use this chart in the next video. Okay, I won't be actually talking too much about the chart itself in this video. I will be talking about it in the next video, but I do want to show it to you so you have a visual idea of what we're going to be getting into. So these are compounds that contain only one functional group, and most of you did do well on exam 1 on this topic. So we have a ketone group, right, as indicated by this is a C, so C double bond O. And if the double bond O is in the middle of the chain, then that's a ketone. If it's at the end, it's an aldehyde. We've made that very clear. Which sides do we start numbering? Well, this side is more closer to the end containing the functional group. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's hexane. And if it's a ketone, we just replace the A and E with O and E, right? And the position of the functional group is 3. So we said it's 3-hexanone. That's how we did it for exam 1. And again, the double bond O is at the end, so we know it's an aldehyde. Keep in mind, this carbon also contains a hydrogen. This is the functional group. Start numbering from this side, so 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, aldehyde means it's an al, so we basically, again, it's a 6-member group, so we replace the A and E with the Al, and the functional group is in the first carbon. So aldehyde can never be 2 or 3 hexanal, it always be 1 or 2, 1, and whether it's hexanal or pentanal, it doesn't matter, it's always 1. So it's 1-hexanal, right? Because it's in the first part. Again, this is, we call it, if it's only one functional group, it's alcohol, so we replace the, again, A and E with OL. E with OL, right? So we start numbering from this side again, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's hexane, and then the alcohol group is in the second position, so it's hexanol, right? replace the E by, actually, yeah, in all these cases, we were replacing the E by, I shouldn't have, it's just the E that we replace, okay? Replace the E by O and E, replace, so we rewrite it. Replace the E by O and E, replace the E by AL, replace the E by OL, right? So 2-hexanol, and this is much easier because, you know, once you get it, so this is the functional group, it's a fluoro, so 5, 6. Again, this is a methyl group, and if you have to determine alphabetically, this is methyl, and this is fluoro. F comes before M, so it'll be 2-fluoro, 3-methyl hexane, right? This is exactly what we learned for exam 1, and all these groups contain only one functional group, so it's easier to work around it, right? But in the next video, I'm going to bring that chart back, which you saw earlier, right? This chart back again, and actually walk you through with several examples. But I have to warn you, I cannot do 500,000 examples to establish connection of this chart with the concept, okay? That's just not possible, okay? I don't think it's possible for anybody to keep writing as many compounds as possible. However, I tried to do 5 or 6 problems in this video, and I'll give you 5 or 6 more to practice. And of course, we will be meeting in class and working and learning this as we go. All right, so stay tuned for the second video on this topic for 2 or more functional group nomenclature.